What is going on, world? What's up, everyone? It's Zero here. Today I'm bringing you guys a brand new Starcraft 2 video. This one was played at the WCS in Leipzig and was the semifinal of that tournament. Spawning here in the top left-hand corner of Catalyst LE, playing with the blue Protoss pieces. He's currently up on his opponent and wants to keep the series rolling in his favor. His name is none other than Neeb. And his opponent spawning in the cross position, playing with the red Protoss pieces. He's currently down in the series, but certainly not out of it just yet. His name is ShoWTimE. So, guys and girls, game number one was extremely exciting between these two players, and it looked like for moments that ShoWTimE was going to take the advantage and win game number one, especially when he went in with that extremely pretty big army composition. But somehow, someway, Neeb was able to come out with the victory as far as his defense was absolutely on point, and then he continued the aggression slowly but surely, and going on that aggressive, going pretty aggressive, taking out ShoWTimE's army. And that said, I'm going to be very interested to see what ShoWTimE is going to do now in game number two. Now that he's, got, slowly but surely kind of has his back against the wall, so to speak, even though he is still ahead of, I should say, still not, out of the series by any stretch of the imagination, because this is a best of 7 series between these two players that was played, of course, at the WCS at Leipzig, as I said. He's certainly not out of it just yet, but the question is he gonna be able to kind of even up this series, or is Neeb gonna be able to continue what he did in game number one and go up 2-0. We'll have to find out here very shortly as this game goes on. Both players are going for very similar builds, as you'll see from that top left production tab. We are going to see Stalkers coming out of each of these players from the Stargates, and then we are also going to, of course, see the Warp Gate being researched out of each opponent. I'll be very interested to see which player kind of gets an edge early on in the game, or are they just going to play a pretty macro focused game? I think if I'm ShoWTimE, I would probably I would probably just continue playing your game. You really lost game number one because maybe you overextended just a little bit, or you didn't split up your army whereas you maybe should have. So in game number two, I would just do more of the same. And the same can be said for Neeb, except if I were Neeb, I would probably put more aggression on ShoWTimE earlier on in the game. But what do I know, guys? I'm not a professional player. I just give my opinions on what, I analyze from each game, of course, from this tournament. And it's been actually, the WCS in Leipzig was a pretty intense tournament, to say the least. Very exciting. And it looks like Neeb is going to go ahead. He places a pylon down near the middle of the map, and then he's going to go ahead and place a gateway down. Very interesting decision making. I'm wondering if he's going to start sending maybe some adepts over towards ShoWTimE, try to kind of keep him on his toes. Does look like there's going to be a natural nexus coming out of ShoWTimE a little bit earlier in this game. Does look like ShoWTimE is going to have to go back home, as 6 Stalkers of Neeb are going to meet him at near that natural expansion, even though the natural expansion has not come out yet. So interestingly enough, it looks like Neeb is going to go for a little bit of some aggression early on in this game. He's got a lot of Stalkers, and there is another Warp Gate, like a proxy Warp Gate, that is going to be near the middle of the map. And there's a lot of Stalkers. Now, there are some Stalkers out for ShoWTimE, and I wonder if ShoWTimE is anticipating something coming. He must think that something's absolutely coming near his base, and there's a decent amount of Stalkers. This sentry is going to be helpful, though, in holding off this army. I wonder if ShoWTimE's going to have to go ahead and cancel this natural nexus, simply because this nexus, well, it looks like it's about to go down. He does not cancel it. Very interesting decision-making. Neeb is going to have free range of this natural nexus, and just like that, it does look like ShoWTimE is going to be able to force this army away, but it looks like Neeb somehow is going to continue to push onto this army and really try to jump on top of all of these units of ShoWTimE. beautiful play here by Neeb. Absolutely on top of it at this point. We're going to see robotics facility coming out of both of these players at this point in the game as we're passing that 5-minute mark. Neeb is going to have free range of this natural nexus. If he gets this natural nexus, that is going to be huge, and he does get it. Beautiful play by Neeb so far in this game. Now, ShoWTimE obviously is not out of this thing just yet. He is a little bit supply blocked, and it looks like Neeb, I wonder if he's going to be overstaying his welcome, though, as he's trying to move up that up the ramp. Beautiful force field going down by ShoWTimE, which is going to help him buy a little bit more of some time. But the back and forth here is going to be beautiful right now, and we're going to start seeing some more adepts coming out, and now we have an immortal that is out on the map for ShoWTimE, and I think this is going to be extremely helpful. Beautiful force field once again, and now these adepts are going to try to do some damage to those sentries. They do get the sentries, but all of those adepts do go down. Wow, this is just an intense engagement between these two players. Neeb, the question is he going to continue this aggression? I'm wondering. It does look like he is going to go ahead and get that natural nexus down. It looks like Neeb is just trying to buy, you know, himself some time to get his natural nexus out and, you know, kind of take a lead here early on in this game. We got 3 sentries now for Neeb. We do have more and more immortals that are starting to join this fight for ShoWTimE, so you got to be very careful with this engagement between these two players. I would absolutely love to see Neeb continue putting on aggression. I really would. I think that, you know, just even what he's doing right now is definitely smart because he's just delaying the inevitable. Now, there were a couple of adepts that did make their way across the map. And just like that, it looks like ShoWTimE is going to get a War Prism out. And this War Prism is going to be filled with a couple of those immortals. And those immortals, this is what's going to be really helpful. He's going to really try to start pushing this army out of the way. Or push them back, and that's exactly what happened. Neeb, he was able to delay this natural nexus for a while, but it does look like smartly enough, Neeb is going to back off, and he's going to start moving back home. So beautiful play here. I really got to give it to Neeb at this point. Neeb really is playing this thing absolutely brilliantly. He's not overstaying his welcome, but he's just delaying ShoWTimE just enough so that ShoWTimE can go ahead, or so that Neeb can get his economy booming before, of course, his opponent. ShoWTimE once again, for the second time in this game, supply blocked. So just, I mean, you know, and Neeb knows exactly what's going on. You know, really just very well played so far by Neeb. I'm very impressed. Now, we do have some more adept drops here, and this, I think, is going to hurt a little bit. That War Prism does go down, though. Neeb. Beautiful play by Neeb. Even though there's a little bit of some damage being dealt by ShoWTimE, it is not enough for what for what Neeb is doing at this point. So, Neeb is playing this absolutely brilliantly right now. He is, he's on top of it. I mean, really. And this army composition that looks like he's going to start pushing across the map once again. We're approaching that 9-minute mark. And once again, Neeb is going to go on the aggressive. And, well, maybe not. It looks like maybe he's going to back off now. But I like the aggression by Neeb. He knows he's ahead. He knows he's delayed that natural nexus by ShoWTimE. And it looks like now we are going to see the War Prism moving across the map for Neeb. And I think he's going to probably try to maybe drop off in that main base location, I would assume. Because, as I said, he knows he's ahead at this point. Now, we're going to have to keep an eye on, you know, some of these run-bys by these adepts for ShoWTimE. ShoWTimE's been playing this, you know, kind of, you know, he has to play it a little bit passive simply because he is behind. Now, we are going to see these immortals are going to come in and they're going to start doing a little bit of some damage here. They're going to go after some of these pylons. And it does look like he's going to pick up and go away before, fly away, before any significant damage, or before he takes any damage. And oh, you do not want to lose that War Prism that is filled with a couple of those immortals. that would be devastating. Now, Neeb is going to start moving across the map. I think he's had enough. And I think he feels good enough that he can win right here and right now. And this is going to be a scary army that ShoWTimE is going to have to take on very early on here. There's going to be a massive warp in. There are going to be a couple of those immortals. And the question is there going to be enough here for ShoWTimE to hold on? This army is moving in. They're going to try to get the surround with some of those adepts as they shade in. And just like that, I wonder if there's going to be enough here for ShoWTimE. Neeb is playing this absolutely brilliantly, but the force fields are on point. The beautiful pickup micro GG is called, and Neeb takes a 2-0 lead over his opponent. Absolutely beautiful play by Neeb. And he's showing us why he is one of the best Protoss players still out there in the world. I hope you guys did enjoy this game between Neeb and ShoWTimE. And if you guys did, leave a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, stay positive, and as always, I will see you guys all in the next one. Peace.